Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. On this channel, we talk about everything financial literacy. And today, we're going to be discussing American Express and some things that I wish someone told me when I first began with American Express, and even recently when I just started getting some business credit cards with them. American Express can be some of the most costly credit card products if not used strategically. And I used to wonder, why would anybody pay $400 to use a credit card? That it seemed crazy, like it was a privilege to use their card. I also thought, what's the reason for using a card you have to pay in full every single month? Now, after, of course, doing some research, learning the importance of credit cards, learning how to leverage debt, my mind has changed and the value is actually there. It just depends on how you're going to be using it. There also may be a time where you can actually justify the reason to use this card, and there are times where you can't justify the reason. It just depends on who you are. So I want to talk about the charge cards for American Express. I think there is a misconception with the charge cards, but I have a lot more clarity now, and I think that it needs to be thoroughly explained so you could really get the benefits of it. So let's talk about what a charge card actually is. So with the charge card, you'll need to pay off the full balance each month. Charge cards have no preset spending limit. They don't have one. It doesn't mean that the limit is unlimited. There is a point where you will need to request to spend a certain amount. Now, your purchases are approved based on a range of factors, and as American Express gets to know you, they'll be able to adjust how much you spend on your card. So your spending limit really is flexible. It's based off of the way that you normally would do spending, which means if you have an abnormally large purchase, you may need to contact American Express and get that approved with them. So now that we know what a charge card is, I want to go a little bit deeper because when I first got American Express, I didn't know what the difference was. So number one, not all American Express cards, they are charge cards. I did think at a point all American Express cards have to be paid in full, but that's actually not the case. They do have some credit cards that have a revolving balance that you can use. Second thing that I want to dispel, the balance on a charge card will not hurt your utilization. So I used to also think, if you have an American Express card and you use $20,000, you spend that in a month, it's going to report to the credit bureaus that you spent $20,000 with 100% utilization, effectively crippling your credit score. That's not true. Although you will see the information get reported to all three of the major bureaus, the charge cards are not considered a revolving account. So a revolving account is a credit card account. The only type of account that can actually affect utilization, it has to be a revolving account. So even though charge cards are let's say a credit card product, they're not a revolving balance product, which means the utilization is not affected. Now let's talk about how credit cards different from charge cards. So a credit card does have a preset spending limit. There is a certain amount that you can spend every single month on that card. And in order for you to get an increase on that, of course, they have to review and approve it. Later down the line, I've also learned that charge cards have a pay over time limit. I'm going to recommend that that's not being used because you still will have to pay interest on that. And it can be very high, especially if you're spending a very large amount. And I'm going to go over, other reasons why I don't recommend you really utilizing the pay over time, except, in a very special circumstance. Nurturing your American Express accounts. Now, every relationship is symbiotic. What I mean by that is no matter who you are, no matter what you're doing, everyone is looking to have a mutually beneficial relationship, whether that be personal, whether that be professional, doesn't matter. When it comes to finances, institutions like American Express are no different. They're looking for you to do something to benefit them. In turn, they will do something to benefit you. So with that being said, you want to use your account responsibly in order to get higher limits or to get approved for other cards. So for example, I've said this, I feel like a lot, but interchange fees. Banks make money when you spend on their cards through interchange fees. The more transactions that you make, the more frequent that you make them, the more that they are able to actually get. So think of it like this. If you were an employee at a job and you were a high earner, high performer, wouldn't you think that from doing that, they're going to increase the money that they pay you based off of that performance? Same thing with these cards. The more that you do, the more offers, bonuses, limits that they are going to present to you because you are a high spender. You are a high earner. You're making money. So you're making money for them. So in turn, they're going to give you as much as you need to spend. And hopefully that means more rewards. That means more opportunities for you to leverage debt. It can benefit you as well, depending on what you're doing with it. So if you want to get higher limits, you want to get lower interest rates, you're going to have to basically give them something to justify doing that for you. So just know that this is a professional, symbiotic relationship. Don't take it personal if they don't want to do something for you or give you something. Just because you've had an account open for 20 years doesn't mean that you're going to be a high earning client because you don't use the card. If you don't use it, there's no activity. Then why would they give you more of a limit or raise anything or do anything for you, for that matter, if it's not being used? If anything, I would say that they're more likely to just lower your limit if it's not being utilized, to give it to someone else who will utilize it. So just always look at it like that. And again, you want to nurture that. You want to grow that. You want to make sure that you're doing something to give reason to do something for you, to assist you in some way, form, or fashion. Now, another thing that I really wish that I knew more of were the offer restrictions. So Amex has a strict policy that applies to all its cards, including co-branded hotels, airlines, business cards, cashback, a few of the rewards. But the policy states that each card is only eligible for one welcome bonus throughout its lifetime. Regardless of the type of card, it does not matter. Customers are entitled to only one welcome bonus for that particular card, as far as we have seen. And most American Express cards have the language stating the welcome offer isn't available to applicants who have or have had a card in the general offer term. However, that does not mean that you'll never be able to earn a bonus on a card that you've already carried. And I'm just going to give you a few examples of what I'm talking about. So more than a decade ago, American Express would allow you to earn welcome offers on the exact same card multiple times. And since 2014, the issuer just completely stopped that. And they limited what you can earn on applications. They limited customers to a one-time bonus per lifetime, regardless of how much time has passed since you last applied. Other ways that you can get around this, because there are some ways to get around this, would be card upgrade offers. There are some times where they'll offer you, as an existing card holder, a bonus offer to upgrade to a current card with a higher annual fee. I actually had one of these offers and took advantage of them. And these bonuses can differ from person to person, with some individuals even being targeted to receive a bonus for upgrading cards that they previously held in the past. So for instance, a card holder may have once held a Hilton Honors American Express. They were able to open another one with an extended offer to upgrade to like the Hilton Honors. Just depends on exactly how you're using your card, which goes back to nurturing those relationships. You also have pre-qualify offers. So that's another a potential opportunity. If you do have a pre-qualify offer, they will be willing to let you get that welcome bonus offer. So you can actually check that out prior, or they'll send you an email asking you to qualify for one of these cards. Now, that will be another one of the exceptions. Some Amex card holders have actually found that the once per lifetime language is missing on some cards when they're pre-qualified. So you want to keep in mind that that's something that, again, you may be able to do. It's just not guaranteed. So that means that it's worth checking to see if you have any of these offers. So if you're kind of on the fence about something, or you want to wait, I would wait for, it to be offered to you, or even calling and asking if there are any current pre-qualified offers, because there may be something there. Not paying down your balances can raise a red flag. Let's say that you have a revolving credit card account with American Express. You would pay your minimum balance, right? You're just going to pay the balance that it says that you have due. Now, worst case, you pay interest. But the only problem with that is, while that may not affect your credit score, you won't get a late payment. You will pay some interest. This really can actually affect your credit worthiness with American Express. And I'll give you an example. There was another card that I tried to apply for, and when I did, I was denied, but I could not get approved for that card because of a balance that I carried over. Now, I did just pay that balance in full, and then I was able to reapply and get approved. But that's something that you have to keep in mind. So it came directly from them letting me know, hey, if you're carrying over balances, we're not going to give you any other products that we actually offer. So in the future, what I would recommend is, and at least what I'm going to do, I probably won't carry over any balances. I do have a plan to use a 0% APR card where, I mean, if I need to carry over a balance, I'm going to carry it over. If I'm making money and debt is cheap, if it costs me 0%, I will carry it over. I'll take that hit for, the potential for profit. But for what I would recommend, if that's not what you're doing, if you're just a points and rewards type of person who is looking at just taking advantage of bonuses and offers, then my recommendation is to never carry over any balance. Don't just pay the minimum, pay whatever the previous balance was in full. That's always going to be my recommendation going forward. Now, this is a big one, and you've probably seen multiple videos on this. American Express previously promised investors that it would revamp 40 of its credit card products throughout 2024. Back in April, the Amex CEO, he reiterated that was the goal, even after raising annual fees on nearly the entire suite of Delta co-branded cards and Hilton Small Business Card earlier this year. There's more down the pipeline. There's a lot more revamps that are coming. You will notice this a lot with a lot of their products. It's going to be a lot. So the $695 annual fee on the Platinum card, which I just got through paying, I think hopefully that's as bad as it gets, but you got to see the rates and you got to check the fees. But it's only a matter of time before these actually see another increase from what we currently just saw, which again is already it's exuberant. It is crazy. American Express has also tweaked its flagship travel cards. Every 3 or 4 years, there's been a change, and we're nearing the 3-year mark since the last big overhaul, which was in the summer of 2021, when its annual fee increased from $550 to the current $695 price tag. So summer right now, be on the lookout. There may be another increase for that annual fee. But the way I started thinking about it was, so Costco, Sam's Club, places like BJ, like wholesale places, you pay a fee, right? A membership fee. So hopefully you see where I'm going with this. This seems to be the approach that I feel like they're taking. They're looking at it like a membership to approve each one of these cards. And the only way to justify the high cost of these revamps or refreshes, you really have to use the benefits that come with the card, which is why I'm saying it depends on how you use it. Now, if you go into the Amex app, you'll see these coupons and offers which can be applied, and they proposition you to make some purchases in order to get this discount. If you look at the $240 credit that you could get from the Amex Hilton card, it only lets you use $60 per quarter, I believe. So if you're looking at that, basically you have to spend, or you'd have to stay at 4 Hilton properties each quarter in order to maximize that $240 credit. So it could be good or bad. If you normally stay at Hilton properties, then it's good. But if you don't stay that often or only annually, you're not really going to receive this full $240 benefit. So it can benefit you, but you have to spend more in order to get this discount. Now, if you were already going to spend that, then this makes perfect sense. If you weren't, then this might defeat the purpose, because you're not going to spend $60 per quarter to stay at a Hilton property. So just be aware that American Express is very aggressive with annual fees. They're aggressive with these increases, and you have to have a strategy in order to be prepared to benefit from these revamps. So if you're someone who travels a lot, you're someone who does that a lot for business, and you stay in a lot of properties, Hilton or otherwise, or you fly Delta, or, if you use these products or you use these services, if you use these co-branded partner cards, just know that it has to make sense. If you use a cashback card, know that you have to be spending the money to get the cash back to where it justifies all of these annual fees. And if it doesn't, you can downgrade your card to one of the no annual fee American Express cards. It just has to make sense for you. So take a look at those different options and just see if it makes sense for you to have some of these ones with the high annual fee. It may not make sense for you to have the Platinum. It may not make sense for you to have the Gold. it just depends. You know, the green might make sense. The blue might make sense, especially with the grocery benefits. So just double check it, see how it benefits you. Another thing I wish that someone told me is when it's not always a good choice, which is why, that's the main thing about this video. When is it not a good choice to have this? Now, if you're a part of the points and rewards community, this will hit home for you. If you're a part of the credit stacking community where it's more business and leveraging money, then this may not matter. But recently I changed from the Amex Gold to the Amex Platinum because the Amex Gold lost its benefits for me. The Amex Platinum with my future travel plan seems to actually, it aligns with what I'm trying to do, and I can actually benefit from some of the features that they have, which will offset the cost of the annual fee, which is $695. All right. So with the approval of some of these cards, it can be difficult to justify still using them. For me, for the American Express Gold, it was difficult to justify still using it. There are too many other cards that have grocery and rewards, like what Chase is doing right now. If you're looking at the Capital One's, the Saver One, some of these cards are giving you 3x, 7x points. Some of them are giving you 5% cash back on these things. It doesn't make sense. The goal was my grocery and dining card, 3x points. But if I can get 7x points over here, it doesn't make sense anymore for you to use that card. Now, if you're using it for that purpose, it's a personal card, you're using it for everyday spend, it may not make sense when you have these other options between Chase and Capital One. But if you're using it for business and you just want a high credit limit and basically you're just paying the fee to have a high credit limit, then maybe paying a $400 up to damn near $700 annual fee makes sense for you. But you just want to know when it's not a good choice. When it's not a good choice, it doesn't mean you have to cancel your Amex product. You could just downgrade and go to one with no annual fee that may have other benefits for you until that changes, and then you can upgrade to that other product. Now, you may not receive the welcome bonus when you upgrade to that product, but again, that's why you have to make sure that it makes sense for you and your situation. So just always bear that in mind. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm hoping that you found some value from this. If you are an American Express card holder and you have had, maybe have been placated with some of these revamps, these refreshes, not really understanding why you lost welcome bonus offers and things of that nature, you just, drop that experience down in the comments. If you found ways to actually justify these fees and these changes and using this card, if it's a charge card, if it's a revolving, if it makes sense for you, just give us some information on how you were able to justify using it. And again, for me, the way that I spend money, it's always going to be how I can get something back for my spend, always. And if you're just, someone who's stacking with business, then it may just be the higher limits for you. None of this may actually matter to you, but just let me know in the comments, what are you using your American Express for? What's your favorite card? And how are you justifying these fees if you are paying these? And if you're using it for personal use, grocery every day, give that example too. But thank you so much for watching this video, and you guys have a wonderful day.